What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV. Back at it again with another banger, my friends. Kick back, relax, come take a ride with me. Man, I'm telling y'all right now, no shade to UConn or Tennessee. That might have been the game of the year so far. Incredible, elite matchup. We have been wanting to see UConn and what they were going to do against a ranked team, a legitimate team, since they haven't played anybody ranked since they lost to Notre Dame, like almost 2 months ago. So they get an SEC opponent who is a very talented SEC team, man, in Tennessee, a team that they're very familiar with as far as program history, but also just looking at it, man, this was a team with contrasting styles, both like to put ball pressure on, but tonight, UConn got out hustled. Paige Beckers definitely got contained tonight. She made some big shots. AZ Fudd made some big shots, but honestly, it wasn't enough. Foul trouble, the disruption of the Tennessee press, that depth that Coach Kim Caldwell has. Sarah Strong showed up to play, man. KK Arnold, Aubrey Griffin were very good for this team, man, but it was not enough, man. Paige Beckers definitely didn't look like a number one draft pick tonight. I'm just saying, there go the stats. We wanted to see UConn play some real competition. We wanted to see what UConn would do. What do we learn about UConn tonight, man? This team has a lot of work to do. Mistakes, mental mistakes. Groovy, welcome in, welcome in. I'm disappointed as a UConn fan. Man, I would be disappointed too if I was a UConn fan. Y'all see the numbers right there. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, everybody. Hey, my guy RC was good. Kings Lion Crown. UConn played well against ranked opponents. They definitely have. We just haven't seen them against a lot of ranked opponents, man. Paige Beckers definitely got exposed in this game, though. No shade to her, but they was all in her ish tonight. Hannah Hidalgo, Player of the Year, book it. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Paige, man, like, looking at it, man, first, before we just dive in on Paige, because I don't want it to be that, even though she definitely could have played a lot better. Looking at it, man, Tennessee was the better team tonight. They, first off, I think it was the full court pressure. They forced 12 turnovers, the block shots. Also, just, they made, every time they needed a bucket, every time Tennessee needed a bucket, man, one of those guards stepped up. Spencer was incredible. Spearman, big time. Big time buckets for her. Talasia Cooper, Jewel Spear, like the guards, they couldn't get stops, man. It felt like UConn ran out of gas. You look at the rebounding battle, 53 rebounds to 35. That's absolute hustle right there. That is hustle right there. That is, I want it more than you. The rebounding battle was insane, bro. This was a very physical game. Shaquem, welcome in, welcome in. Nah, man, that South Carolina game. Nah, I will say salute to Tennessee. They played South Carolina tough, but nah, Tennessee. UConn finna get scraped up out of there, man. I know we talked a lot about what happened with UConn. Looking at the stats, Sarah Strong came to play. Sarah Strong. I know I released that video not too long ago talking about the number one freshman, the freshman race. But Sarah Strong came to play today. AZ Fudd made some big shots. She battled the foul trouble. I think that really hurt them. Paige Beckers, though, 14 points. Great assist day. 8 assists. Only 14 points in this contest, though, well below her season average. 4 rebounds. And they was out there getting cooked by them Tennessee guards. I'm talking about 2 feet in the paint all night. All night. All night. 2 feet in the paint for Tennessee all night. UConn could not get a stop to save their life. And late in that game, man, Tennessee was eating at the cup. The bigs, like Geno Alfie, very just non-existent in this contest. They couldn't get a rebound. They could not get a rebound. I think Tennessee did a great job of limiting them to 1 shot per possession. Alfie had 4 rebounds. Sarah Strong had 9 rebounds tonight. Nobody else had over 5. Nobody else had over 5 rebounds. Give me y'all's initial takeaways, though. Holler at me in the chat. I definitely was disappointed with Paige Beckers. Man, I don't think she was aggressive enough. I think they gave her a lot of open shots she could have took. Like, she is supposed to take over this game. We saw her take over small periods of this game, especially in that high ball screen 1-2 game that her and Sarah Strong were playing, which it was working for a little bit, that mid-range. But I just think Tennessee did a great job of switching everything. They did a good job of using their length, their depth to really push the pace and wear down Uconn. Salute to the Uconn supporting cast, though. Aubrey Griffin and KK Arnold were really good in this game, I gotta say. I gotta salute them. I gotta salute them on that. Like, that honestly, the supporting cast for Uconn, I gotta salute them. Never trust a stray huggy. Ashley Knuckles, welcome in. Shaquem, you guys really think UConn can beat South Carolina? No, sir. Geno to try to guilt into staying another year to go for a chip. I mean, Paige Beckers looked pretty mid tonight. I love the full court like passes she was making. She was getting the ball out quick, initiating the offense. But man, Tennessee just came and executed their game plan, defended their home court. Every time the Huskies clawed back into this game, Tennessee made a play. Every single time. Smart guy, welcome in. UConn, they just don't have the talent. They just don't have the talent, Smart Guy says. They're really not that much talent in women's basketball. I disagree with that. But UConn, this is not like a traditional UConn squad. They definitely have talent, man. But, like, players that we thought were going to play big roles for this team, Caitlin Chin, especially, I thought she was a must-get transfer. It seems like the raise in level of competition, like against these ranked opponents, bro. Chin has just not been that valuable. Ashlyn Shade, non-existent tonight. Like, you talk about the fall off. This is not Creighton. This is not Georgetown. Tennessee came and smacked them ladies in the mouth. VVS, welcome in, welcome in. Paige is a great player, but not an all-star player. I wanted her to. I wanted more from Paige tonight. I absolutely wanted her to have that killer instinct, that Mamba mentality that she had last year, where she was just taking over games and carried this team to the Final Four. We have not seen that same Paige Beckers this year, man. I don't know if she's lost her edge, that killer instinct that the number one pick is putting pressure on her. If she's already thinking about the WNBA, like, I don't know if it's the focus or what. But that, honestly, overall, I do want to say that was a great game, though. I agree with you, JJ. That was a great game, hard fought, fast paced, action packed, lots of buckets, lots of sharing the basketball. Like, it was a really great game, man. But I feel like Kiki Ariason and Paige Beckers have kind of been disappointing lately. This was a game I felt like Paige Beckers had to put UConn on her back and wheel them to a win. But that depth of, man, Kim Caldwell go to that bench. She got that. I remember when Coach Calipari had that platoon system back in Kentucky that one year. That's what Coach Kim Caldwell has at Tennessee, man. Her first season, they are doing some special things. They're building and establishing and reviving that culture. But the depth of Tennessee, man, that 5-woman rotation, they're just throwing bodies and bodies and bodies at you. It's a lot. It's a lot to deal with, man. And I'm not trying to, say Paige is a bad player, but when you're a superstar, when you're one of the best players in the country, when they're telling you you're going to be the number one pick, and you come out and lay an egg, not aggressive, didn't take it to Tennessee, didn't assert herself in this contest, wasn't exceptional on defense. Like, I honestly, to me, Aubrey Griffin, KK Arnold, Sarah Strong performed extremely well tonight. AZ Fudd, without the foul trouble, performed really well tonight. Even though they attacked her on defense after possession after possession after possession, man. AZ Fudd was getting taken to the cup because she couldn't really, honestly, man. Oh, Jay, oh, man, Olivia Miles going number one. Olivia Miles been hooping. Her and her dog look like the best backcourt in the country. Coming into this game, though, man, we talked about how it seemed like UConn was just a 1-2 punch, but Paige Beckers did not show up tonight. I gotta be honest, man. And salute to Tennessee. They deserve all the credit in the world. They deserve all the credit in the world. Like, Tennessee definitely is a tough, competitive team. They play hard. They're physical. I think their length down low bothered UConn. I think Tennessee was more athletic and really pushed the tempo. Like, UConn, I think it's hurting them playing in this weak conference in the Big East, man. You get comfortable. You get complacent playing down to your competition. They're blowing out all these just not competitive teams like it's a cakewalk. And they match up with a team in the SEC who's not a top team in the SEC, but one of them. Not the top, but one of them. And they run into a buzzsaw. They run into a straight buzzsaw. Like, Paige Becker's got to take over this game, man. You got to will your team to victory. You're the number one draft pick. You're it. You're getting everybody's best shot. Everybody wants to see you. Like, everybody wants to take you on. Tennessee shrank that court. They made UConn work hard for every bucket. UConn fought hard, man. They just could not close this game out. Straight up. They could not close this game out. Salute to Tennessee. Salute to Coach Kim Caldwell. They got the #2 recruiting class coming in. Like, Tennessee is building something special. This was a major win, a quad one win for them. They haven't beat a lot of ranked opponents. They've lost a lot of close games. They closed this one out, man. They closed this one out in style. Like, Paige Beckers, I feel like, dropped the ball tonight. Sarah Strong came to play. KK Arnold was exceptional on both ends for majority of the game. Caitlin Chen, Jana L. Alfie, non-existent. Ashlyn Shade, non-existent. Like, a lot of these names that we're seeing that we thought were going to be big-time contributors this year, non-existent. Like, this is not the Big East. This is not the Big East, man. Tennessee came to play. They play a different physical brand of basketball in the SEC, man. Jay, you going in on Paige. My goodness. Shaquem says, since everyone is getting top picks, UConn has not been the program they once were. Facts. Facts. They have not been. I don't think Geno was ever an elite coach. He just had elite recruits because now he can't win a championship. They are not getting. I mean, when was the last time we seen UConn send 5 players off the roster to you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not getting the same level of talent. When you used to watch those older UConn teams, it was definitely 4 and 5 WNBA draft picks on these teams. That is not what we're seeing now. That is not what we're seeing now. And maybe Geno Aurieamma's style is not resonating with these young recruits. Like, I know they got Sarah Strong. They brought in a good recruit class. But, like, Ali Zabel, Morgan Shelley pretty much been non-existent too, man. You got Sarah Strong who's out there hooping. But, yeah, I mean, the South Carolinas, Tennessee's building something special. LSU is on a crazy run. They got a great recruiting class coming in. Like, maybe we're seeing a lot of the old dinosaur coaches get ran off by NIL in the social media era. Maybe this is the tentative end of Geno Aurieamma and the UConn Huskies dynasty that we've grown accustomed to seeing. Maybe they need a new leader at the helm, man. Let me know. Y'all holler at me in the comments. I salute Tennessee, though. They play great basketball. Like, they deserve all the credit. They deserve all the credit. They played a great game. I mean, salute to them. They played a great game. They absolutely played a great game. And I got to salute to them, man. They had a game plan. And this is like the first time they've beaten. This is the first time that they have beaten UConn since like 2007. Like there is a new sheriff in town. There's absolutely a new sheriff in town. I mean, it really might be over for the Uconn, like the Geno Aurieamma era. Do y'all feel like his coaching style? I don't feel like he's relating to this younger generation like that, man. Like you got to be a special type of player to go to UConn. They don't have just straight killers they're bringing off the bench anymore. They do not have straight killers that they're bringing off the bench anymore. Like the day of UConn having 4 and 5 WNBA draft picks on the roster, man, I think we've seen the end of those days. Like it's been known, like I think it's been that way, but everybody else is absolutely caught up. Everybody else is caught up. I mean, for them to get beat by a Tennessee squad that, no disrespect, but they're not a top 3 team in the SEC right now. So for them to kind of get beat by a tier 2 team handedly too. I mean, this game was super close the whole time, but I felt like Tennessee was going to win the whole time. Like this genuinely felt like Tennessee's game the entire time. This felt like they were going to win this game the entire time. Like salute to them. I ain't gonna lie though, that was definitely up there for a game of the year candidate. Like that game gave us everything we needed, and I think Tennessee, it showed us a lot about them. It showed us a lot about Tennessee and what kind of team they are winning that close game. But this might be the end of an era for UConn, man. This does not feel like a Final Four team. This was the number 2 ranked team in the country coming into this game. Or not into this game, my apologies. Coming into this season, I should say. Coming into this season. Number 2 ranked team in the country. Stacked roster. Thought they were going to be the biggest contender to South Carolina. No. No. Hasn't happened. Hasn't happened at all. And I mean, like, bro, Geno is obviously like heated, man. Every time they ask him about how the team's playing, he's talking about the stuff that they need to be doing as far as rebounding. He's like, we can't get a stop, we can't shoot the basketball. Like everything he's saying about UConn is always negative. There's no positives, man, that we're hearing during these games when they're interviewing Geno Auriemma. Like it might really be a wrap. It really might be a wrap, man. It really might be a wrap. That killer pace that we saw our freshman year is gone. I don't think we will see it again, bro. I thought we it felt like we were seeing it last season. We have not seen it this season. We've not seen it this season, man. Paige Beckers has not been the same player. Sarah Strong is the best player on UConn's roster. She looks like a number 1 pick, man. Paige Beckers did not look like a number 1 pick tonight. I mean, she looked out of rhythm, shook, to be honest, man. That athleticism, the speed, the length of Tennessee absolutely gave UConn hell tonight. Hell tonight. Paige Beckers was extremely passive. We saw her take over the game in small stretches, but that was it. That was it, man. Nobody for UConn wanted that ball late in the game. I've been disappointed with Caitlin Chen. I think KK Arnold has been the best player off the bench. She was one of the best players off on the on the floor tonight. Jane Alfie, non-existent. Like nobody else had over 5 rebounds but Sarah Strong. They got smashed on the glass. Absolutely dominated on the glass tonight. Out hustled. UConn got bullied tonight, if we being honest, man. I think AZ Fudd could have had a way bigger impact in this game if she did not get in foul trouble. Like AZ Fudd was out there ready to play. Salute to her. Salute to KK Arnold. Aubrey Griffin gave them some very valuable minutes tonight. But Geno Auriemma, man, it just seems like he's missing out. Like he's not touching these recruits the same way he was recruiting. Like the recruiting ain't recruiting the same right now for UConn, man. And then they got a bunch of older players that are bringing no value. I'm shocked. They've completely made Caitlin Chen a non-factor. We're talking about a player that was Conference Player of the Year in the Ivy League. He took Princeton to multiple NCAA tournaments. Like came in One of the best point guards in the country. She has been a dud for UConn. El Alfie, I'll give her some grace. She's still young, but golly, Ashlyn Shade, what the hell happened? There's no way Paige Beckers can come back for another season. There's no way. There's no way. She can't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it for her legacy. Like, yeah, some great players just don't win championships. You know, some great players just don't win championships, and that's obviously not in the cards for UConn or Paige Beckers this season. Like that, Paige Becker, they're not gonna get a championship. It's not happening. Paige is slowly ruining her legacy. She's going to be known as a star player who disappears in big games. I mean, that's what we saw. That's what we saw. When you're looking for your star player, the number one presumed draft pick in the WNBA draft, when you're down, you need a bucket, you're down one possession, you expecting her to completely take over this game. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. It just feels like this is not written in the stars. This is not written in the stars. Let me catch up in the comments, man. Y'all got the chat booming. If this is your first time, make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share. Definitely follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Join our memberships. We got exclusive content daily, weekly, whenever you need it. That was a heck of a game, but salute to Tennessee, man. Salute to Tennessee. They did their job. They made things extremely hard on Paige Beckers. They were physical. They were aggressive. They were more athletic. The length. Like, it was tough for UConn to create any separation. KK Arnold said she wanted to see that press. Well, hey, she got a first-hand look at it. She got a first-hand look at it. I'm telling you that right now. But shout out to Spencer. 14 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Spearman was huge in this contest on the glass. Came up with some big buckets late for Tennessee. She was incredible. Whitehorn, Jewel Spear, 12 points. Talasia Cooper, 11 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds. Complete game for her for the South Carolina transfer. Like, it was the backcourt play. It was the size. And then you look at all these players that got minutes, like Puckett, Darby, Latham, Hollingshead. Like, they all contributed. Everybody for Tennessee contributed. Everybody for Tennessee contributed, man. They blitzed UConn all night. Gotta call it how it is, man. This may be the end of an era. This may be an end of an era that we're seeing right now. Paige is not lit up to the hype. She was anointed as the best player before coming to college. She was supposed to be the next Diana Taurasi by a more, but Paige has regressed. Miles should be the number one pick. He peaked early. He peaked early. Paige is, yeah. Jenna Alfie looks confused. She kind of, like, the way she be looking on the court, she's better, but she kind of got that Del Rosario from LSU thing going on, where they just be looking lost out there. Disorganized, disoriented. She has no go-to move in the post facts. Who is developing UConn front court? Ice Brady. Yo, man, I honestly forgot about Ice Brady. Ice Brady had a solid freshman year. She is nothing now. She just out there. End of an era, man. You hate to see it. You hate to see the greats go out like this. You absolutely hate to see the greats go out like this. You gotta keep it real though. You gotta keep it real, man. UConn absolutely got exposed. They ran into a buzzsaw tonight, and we wanted to see them against a team that was up to par, that was ranked. UConn can't. I mean, they don't win big games no more, man. They just not winning the big ones. But yeah, shout out to Tennessee, man. They deserve all the credit. They came out, they executed their game plan, and they handled business. And speaking of the end of an era, passing the torch what they've done, man. Um, South Carolina has definitely become the standard in women's basketball now as far as the college ranks. They got another big win today to extend their win streak. They've been incredible all season, dominant. One. It feels like them and UCLA are 1A, 1B in this contest as far as solidifying the best team in the country. Man, South Carolina dominates 74-42 against Georgia. Just giving y'all a couple quick update. Uconn, Geno Aurieamma, definitely the main topic, but just giving y'all an update. South Carolina did their big one today, beating Georgia by 32 points. Another well-balanced attack for South Carolina. Great shooting the 3 points shots tonight, 8 of 19, 42% from three. They dominate the glass. Coach Don Staley said they needed to rebound the basketball better. And South Carolina comes out and dominates the glass 48-30 against the undersized Georgia team. Looking at some of the numbers, hey man, LSU about to take a win over Missouri too. For everybody that's watching that, Mizzou about to take a L. But guys, stats for the South Carolina game. Chloe Kitts, an effective game. Coach called her out, told her to be more aggressive to shoot that basketball. She finished with 11 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds. Breezy Hall hit a couple of threes, 7 points. Sanaya Fagan, very, very well-rounded game for her. 6 points, 5 assists, showing the passing capability, 9 rebounds. And, I mean, her rebounding has been down. She averages over 4. She's going to want to improve that at the next level. But showing how well-rounded she is, I like what she's bringing to the game. Quiet night for Raven Johnson. 3 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Tahina Pow had 6 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Malaysia Fool Wiley with 13, 2 and 5 off the bench. Tessa Johnson. I told y'all I felt like it was going to be a bounce back game for Tessa Johnson. She came out super aggressive, attacking the cup, shooting the basketball, hunting for her offense. She finished with 12 points, 3 rebounds. Joyce Edwards, who had been leading this team like the last month in scoring in every game, finished with 6 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Not as many minutes tonight for her. Dowda, Adele Tack, Walker, like they got into the game. It was nice to see some of South Carolina's players that don't get a whole lot of minutes get some burn. Maddie McDaniel, 6 points, 1 assist, 1 rebounds. I like what we saw from Full Wiley. She's been really effective, more efficient off the bench. Chloe Kitts, very low maintenance scorer, doesn't need the rock. She don't need to dominate the rock. She only needs 20 points or 20 shots to get in the double figures. Love what we've seen for her. I think South Carolina did a great job of one, the defense. Oh my goodness. Holding Georgia to 42 points. I mean, it was suffocating defense. Suffocating defense for South Carolina. They completely shrank the court. Georgia, man, they struggled to get any type of looks. We saw multiple shot clock violations, multiple turnovers. Like the defense absolutely locked in for South Carolina, forcing turnovers, turning turnovers in the transition offense, which they are so adept and good at doing. Georgia tied for last in their division in the SEC, so we expected a blowout. They got a lot of freshmen that played big minutes as well, so this was definitely going to be a blowout for South Carolina. But when you're a juggernaut like South Carolina, you know there are no easy wins in the SEC. You don't want to get caught lacking, playing down to your competition level. South Carolina came out, no games to be played, blew the doors off. They shared the basketball extremely well, got open shots. The offense looked very well balanced, multiple double-figure scores. And that's the thing with South Carolina, man. You just never know whose night it's going to be with them. You never know who's going to light you up because you can't just shut down one player. Joyce Edwards been leading the team in scoring. She's the leading scorer off the bench. Leading scorer for South Carolina off the bench. Had 6 points tonight, and they still won by 32. Like, that's the thing with South Carolina. You never know, man. And since that loss to UCLA, they have been on a warpath. I know UCLA still deserves to be number one. They're unbeaten. They gave South Carolina the business. But when you look at the schedule, they've played one top 10 team since that matchup. South Carolina been going through the gauntlet for weeks. For weeks. UCLA handled business against Maryland, but it's pretty much been a cakewalk since that South Carolina matchup, if I'm being honest. UCLA's very talented team, though, and they deserve all the credit. Big fan of Kiki Rice, Lauren Betts. Like, they're doing work. I love Janiah Barker's game as well. Like, they've been doing work. I definitely will give it to them. But South Carolina handled business tonight. They're the most battle-tested team in the country. I love the way that Don Staley has constructed this roster to the point where they really don't have any weaknesses. Tahina Pow has been very consistent with this group as well. Like, South Carolina's just playing incredible basketball right now. The defense has been completely suffocating teams. Georgia could barely get the damn ball across half court, man. Like, it was it was tough. It was tough sledding, man. And they got Texas next, which will be a big game, a rematch. I think this game against Texas will be a lot closer. I don't imagine Madison Booker having a type of game that she had last time out. It was terrible. She couldn't buy a bucket. Taylor Jones, since returning, has been incredible for Texas. One of the best bigs in the SEC the last month. She's been incredible. Rory Harmon, one of the better point guards, great playmaker in her own right. Like, Shea Holly, they've been doing some really good things, man. So I like Texas' squad. I don't think they'll beat South Carolina, but if you think it's going to be a blowout like last time, I don't expect that. Texas on their home court is going to come with a fire lit under them for sure. So I'm excited to see that matchup. It'll be a good matchup for South Carolina to measure themselves again. It's tough. It's tough to beat a team twice. So we'll definitely be on the lookout for that matchup as well, man. Major, major, major matchup coming up on Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday at that, man. They got Don Staley missing the game, y'all. Missing her Eagles. But Taylor, I do like Taylor, man. She definitely has been playing big for Texas in her return. I like Texas. I like that Rory Harmon and Madison Booker are both capable playmakers. That was a big difference at the contest, man. Maddie Booker, one of the best players in the country, first team AP All American, and just didn't have a great game against SC the first time. Now they know what to expect. They've seen South Carolina in person. They know what to expect. And if you can limit transition points, take care of the basketball, get off to a hot start, and out rebound South Carolina and make shots from three, you got a chance. I just wish I knew what the hell was going on with Layla Filia, man. Like, she was a 18-point per game scorer at Michigan last year, led the Wolverines in scoring. She's been non-existent. The freshman Jordan Lee is playing better. Bro, she's got to be an X factor. Like, where has she been? If this is a game that you're going to come out and break out of a slump and be an impact player, it might as well be against South Carolina because they're going to need everything they can get, man. Texas has got a good team, though, and they're a veteran group. So, we'll see. I think it'll be a good test. But, yeah, feel it like, bro, man, you hit it on the head, Saheed. You hit it on the head. Like, where has she been? She been MIA. They definitely need her to step it up for sure. They absolutely need her to step it up if they're going to have any chance against South Carolina, man. When they got her in the transfer portal, I absolutely was blown away. I just knew that this was going to be easily a top 3 team in the nation and that she was going to come and be one of the best perimeter threats, forming a crazy trio with Roy Harmon and Maddie Booker. But nah, I don't know what happened. She was a lockdown defender at Michigan. She was a walking bucket at Michigan. Like, I really don't know what happened. I know she battled some injuries early in the year, but dog, like, I really don't know what happened. Speaking of not knowing what happened, bro, because I know y'all are talking a little WNBA, talking about Kennedy Carter. Still no update where she's going to play, but she been killing. She been absolutely killing in China. But speaking of the WNBA, what is going on in Las Vegas, bro? They have literally lost majority of their team from last year. Their whole bench is gone. Colson, Clark, Hayes. Like, their whole bench is gone. What happened to the Aces? They looking around like that Will Smith meme in the empty house in the Fresh Prince. Like, bro, what? Like, the Aces got rid of, like, they let everybody walk. They let 3 former 6 player of the years walk, bro. What is going on with the Aces? They did bring in Cheyenne Parker Titus, but like, I don't know if they're just gonna go crazy in free agency. If they're expecting to build, I mean, you have, like, I'm not gonna overreact. They still have a solid core to build around. You still got the best player in basketball, in Asia Wilson. You still got Chelsea Gray, who is somewhat of a shell of herself, but still has some tread on the tires. You got Jewel Lloyd, one of the best scorers in the league, a chucker, and definitely had some up and down games. She hasn't been the player that she was a couple years ago. I can, humbly say that. But still, got a lot left in the tank. And maybe this is a prove-it year for Jewel Lloyd. Maybe she wants to come out. And the fact that her and Asia Wilson are teammates now makes that whole interaction. Y'all know the viral meme where Asia's just staring at her in the middle of the game. Like, I think it makes it even that more hilarious. But how will Jewel Lloyd fit? She is not the interchangeable playmaker scorer that Kelsey Plum was, where you had Kelsey Plum that could play either guard position. Jewel Lloyd is not a playmaker. She is an absolute scorer, so they're going to have to play different with her on the roster. It's not going to be like when Plum Dog was there. The chemistry has to be established. Kelsey was there for 6 or 7 years. Like, the chemistry has to be there. Yeah, I mean, maybe Kentley can eat into some of those minutes of Kia Stokes, but yeah, I don't know what. I mean, y'all see it right there. That's the roster the Aces have right now. That is currently the roster that they have. Man, they need to be going to the international pool. They need to bring in some free agents. They need to be going for Kennedy Carter. They need to be trying to trade for Marina Mabry. Like, bro, the Aces got to make some moves. They definitely could use Marina Mabry now. Yeah, Jewel Lloyd is definitely going to have to take a lot less shots. She's going to have to defer. And that's something that she really hasn't done in her career. Even with Aguamake and Scott Diggs there, she was still getting all the shots she wanted in Seattle. But Marina Mabry, if I'm the Aces, I'm trying to clear some cap space, which maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're clearing cap space for a big splash, but I'm looking at Mabry. I'm looking at Kennedy Carter. Like, I'm trying to add depth. I'm trying to add size. You still got Liz Kitley, who could be a valuable contributor as well. But, bro, the Aces, I mean, it's looking like a ghost town in Los Angeles. Look at, I mean, in Las Vegas, they got 9 players on the roster, folks. They got 9 players on the roster right now. Oh, smart guy. How you gonna say they ain't played nobody? They done beat UCLA. They done beat a ranked Alabama. They done beat a ranked Tennessee. They done beat 5 ranked teams in a row. How South Carolina not played anybody? I'm lost. I'm dazed and confused. How have they not played anybody? Okay, Joe Burrow, comeback player of the year for those who care. But you got Kirsten Bell, Chelsea Gray, Megan Gustafson, who could still be a valuable um, role player for this team. She played some minutes last year, had some solid games. You still got Liz Kitley, who's an anomaly right now, one of the most just accomplished players in women's college hoops coming out of the draft last year. She's getting healthy. Maybe she can contribute. You got Jewel Lloyd, you got Cheyenne Parker. Like, you still have a lot of talent on this Aces roster, but as far as depth, I mean, they just let their entire bench walk. I mean, crucial pieces that help them win those championships. But they can't go with just 9. Yeah, she definitely got the fadeaway. She definitely got the one-legged fadeaway. They can't just go with 9 though, y'all. Ain't no way, bro. They gotta add some more pieces. If I'm them, I'm looking at Mabry. I'm looking at Kennedy Carter. I'm trying to clear out some cap space. Like, there's several players that I'm looking to add. I'm looking at free agency. I'm looking at the draft. Like, they gotta add some more depth, bro. They gotta add some more depth to that roster. But I like Kitley. Kitley's an intriguing prospect. I think she has a WNBA ready now game. She's played in a lot of games. She's super experienced. Like, I would agree with that. I think she definitely has a lot to offer for this team, and they could be calling upon her. They definitely could be calling upon her this season, for sure. And she's a talented player. I bet they wish they would have kept Deasia Fair by now. I bet they wish they would have kept Deasia Fair. Marina Mabry say she's trying to get the hell out of Connecticut, man. Marina Mabry and Paige Beckers need to get out of the state of Connecticut. Uconn, the end of an era. I ain't gonna lie though, man. I think playing in the Big East is killing Uconn. So he talking about them fever. I think playing in this Big East conference is just a death sentence for Uconn, man. Seriously, like, exposed. Bro, that Big East schedule is, man, I'm telling you, that Big East schedule is killing UConn. They not playing any type of competition. They're not playing any type of competition. Let's be honest, man. Playing against all these lackluster schools and beating them by 30, people say, oh, it's building their confidence, but it feels like it's also hurting them tremendously as well. Playing in this conference I mean, if you put UConn in the SEC, man, they might be middle of the pack. Like, Tennessee ain't even a top SEC team. They not even top three. And they just put it on UConn. They just put it on UConn. I'm just saying. Like, physical. You could tell they were physical. They were more athletic. Like, the length, the urgency that Tennessee played with. Like, you could tell, man, UConn was not on the same level at that time. I do think foul trouble hurt them. I definitely think foul trouble hurt them, though, for sure. Because AZ Flood was out there hooping. AZ was way more aggressive than Paige tonight. AZ was way more aggressive than Paige tonight. I gotta be honest. Yeah, Big East is terrible. Bro, they are hands down the biggest, like, blue blood Power 5 school with their resume, with their history, and they got the nerve to be playing against Creighton and Georgetown, Seton Hall. Like, bro, they're not getting battle tested, and that's what happens. Yeah, SEC is definitely the toughest conference. Big Ten right behind him. 1, Caitlin Clark. 2, Kelsey. 3, DeWanna. 4, Howard. 5, Aaliyah. Sophie. Colson on the bench. Yeah. Indiana Fever gonna have a mob behind them for sure. Still got Lexi Hole as well. Yeah, that's a lot of talent on that team, and I love that they got Tina Charles as well. Like, they added some vets that are gonna contribute. Those teams that South Carolina's played, they're not good at all. The only reason why they are ranked is by default, just like the rest of them other teams. Man, the SEC is stacked, and South Carolina just ran a damn gauntlet, bro. South Carolina went 5-0 against undefeated teams back to back to back to back to back. I can't, smart guy. I can't, man. South Carolina is out here running the gauntlet. Yeah, Fever definitely should have kept Grace Berger, man. She never even got a chance. I feel bad for Grace. Free Grace, bro. She never even got a chance. They just cut her like a Sunday coupon. I ain't like that. I ain't like that at all. Big Ten definitely second toughest. Bro, I just feel like maybe, no disrespect to Geno, no disrespect to Geno, but it might be time for a change. It might be time for some fresh blood. It might be time for some new blood at UConn, man. The Geno way might have expired. We're seeing a lot of the great coaches get run off by NIL, get run off by the social media age, get run off by the recruiting, get run off by the fact of the transfer portal. You got to keep your players. But what players at UConn? I would say KK Arnold for sure, but who's really developing on this roster? Like, who's really developing? Who's really getting better year by year? The regression of Ashlyn Shade and Ice Brady says a lot. The non-development of Cadence Samuels says a lot. Like, UConn has not been developing players the same way. Rob Red, welcome in, says the game. Nah, honestly, I felt like Tennessee was going to win. I know a lot of people, we were kind of wondering, like, okay, when UConn actually plays some adequate competition and not these bum Big East teams, what are they actually going to do? They got exposed. Paige Beckers was guarded by bigger, faster, more athletic defenders, and it was a long night for her. It was a long night. I like what I saw from Aubrey Griffin, like what we saw from KK Arnold, like what we saw, minus the fouls. Minus the fouls, I like what we saw from AZ Fudd. Like, she was way more aggressive than Paige tonight. Paige ain't look like no number one draft pick tonight. Ain't no way. No way. Yeah, UCLA definitely going to be a Final Four team. They should win a championship. UCLA, it should be championship or bust for UCLA. YouTube Jim, welcome in. It should be championship or bust for UCLA. What they did in the transfer portal, what they brought in with their freshman class, what they brought back from last year. Yeah, I mean, it might be time for a change, y'all. And this is no disrespect to Geno, but it might be time for a change, bro. Nobody is scared of UConn anymore. And nobody's going to be impressed that you're having a cakewalk through the weak Big East. UConn's lost their last two ranked games, man. They don't win big games no more. YouTube Jim says UConn played better than I thought. I think they could have pulled off the win with a tougher schedule so they could actually get better in film. Yeah, I mean, when you're just running over a bunch of JV squads, bro, you're not getting better. You're not iron sharpens iron. UConn is not experiencing that. They're going through a cakewalk. They're trying to pad stats. And it's hurting this team, man. Playing in the Big East is hurting this team. I think a coaching change may be needed. A conference change absolutely is needed. For sure, without a doubt. Yeah, Lauren Betts is not. I don't think there's a more impactful player. You could put Hannah Hidalgo in that conversation, but like on both ends of the floor, just pure dominance. Like, bro, Lauren Betts has been incredible. And man, UCLA got so much depth and so much size at every position. Oh my goodness. UConn has had some sequences all year. It's gonna get exposed against better teams. Yeah, I'm with you, Rob. And that's what we saw tonight, man. They overcame their shortcomings in the Big East due to talent. Talent alone is not gonna beat another team with talent. You gotta execute. You gotta play defense. You gotta get stops. You gotta hustle. You gotta get the 50-50 balls. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got to play hard every possession. And yeah, they clawed, they scrapped, they fought, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. It was not enough. Give me some more of y'all's takeaways from this game, though. Talk to me in the chat. Give me some more of y'all's takeaways from this game. Let me know how y'all feeling about it. Talk to me in the chat. Talk to me in the chat. Talk to me in the chat. Weak conference, weak execution, no adjustments. Yo, low key, like Geno got out coached tonight too by a first year head coach in the SEC. Y'all know Coach Caldwell only been coaching in Division One for like 2 years, bro. Came in and out coached Geno Aurieamma. A game where she said she didn't think they weren't sure if they would even win, but hey, she knew she wanted a competitive game. This is a team that hadn't beat UConn since '07. '07. It's kind of a blessing and a curse for Geno. You've established this level of dominance and this level of expectations where every single season is championship or bust. But think about it. Think about what UConn will look like next year without Paige, probably without Chin. Like, it's going to be this, maybe without AZ Fudd. If they bring her back, you're building around Fudd and a bunch of young players. Like Ice Brady. Like, the development of UConn players is non existent right now. Hey, thank you for the subscribe, guys. If this is your first time, make sure to subscribe, comment, like, share. Follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Much love for the support. As far as Juju and USC, man, I could see an Elite Eight. I'd say an Elite Eight. I don't see them. I don't think they're one of the four best teams in the country. I'd say an Elite Eight. I don't know if they go into the Final Four, man. I gotta see more. I need consistent point guard play. I will say Kiki Aurieamma, Juju, and Kennedy Smith have been really good this season. I like what I'm seeing from them three. But what the hell is the rest of the squad gonna do? Ryan Marshall gonna eye. Who do y'all got for your Final Four though? I'm going UCLA, Notre Dame. Those are locks. South Carolina lock. Maybe LSU, man, at that fourth spot in that Final Four. I think LSU is a better team than SoCal. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Let me catch up in the comments. Geno has looked like he's lost his fire a bit when he was what Dan Hurley is now. Yeah, man. I mean, maybe it's the age. I mean, like you said, in his 70s, yeah, not time to hang it up. I'm just saying. Like it gets to a point where all empires come to an end, all eras come to an end, and we might be seeing the end of Uconn's era, man, with Geno Aurieamma. Shireen, welcome in, everybody. Tennessee played hard from start to finish. Defense was solid on lock, and Geno might need to retire. That's what I'm saying, man. It might be time for Geno to hang it up. It might be time for Geno Aurieamma to hang it up. For real. It really might be that time. My man looking like a geezer out there. He looking old and tired and cranky. Yeah, it's time, man. Somebody gonna have to put Geno out of his misery, man. I understand the legacy, the standard, the program that he's built. And it's okay to build it and then pass the torch for somebody else to carry it further. Like my man is cranky out here, YouTube. Why are you looking cranky? Why Gino looking cranky out there, man? Golly, my boy look like he late for bingo. Like he need to be getting to that shuffleboard tournament. Seriously. I agree with that though, YouTube. That's a very valid point. Tennessee does a great job of making you play at their pace and speed you up and making you uncomfortable. They press the life out of you. Yes, that defense is serious. LSU is good, but they play to their competition. If they go against, say, Notre Dame, who can close out games, yeah, I mean, I'm taking Notre Dame over LSU in a head-to-head contest. But I could also not see us not seeing that matchup until the Final Four, the Elite Eight. UCLA, South Carolina, Notre Dame, and Texas. Okay, OD. Okay, I like that. I like that. Texas or LSU. Okay, okay. Okay, okay, okay. South Carolina, Notre Dame, UCLA, USC, or LSU. Solid, solid. Geno post 2016 has turned into Tom Izzo post 2000. I mean, seriously. Seriously. Rover, you're not lying. They definitely, hey, Tennessee was more athletic. They were lengthy. They were faster. They were tougher. They were physical. And this brand of basketball UConn playing is not going to cut it, man. They're going to find themselves struggling to make an Elite Eight. They keep playing like this. Because Tennessee, in my opinion, right now, this is year one. This is year one. They playing with house money right now. Anybody that they beat, they're playing with house money right now. You just lost to Tennessee. There's no way you're beating Texas. There's no way you're beating Notre Dame. There's no way you're beating South Carolina. There's no way you're beating LSU. Like, these are teams that will give UConn problems. There's no way you're beating USC. There's no way you're beating UCLA. Like, an Elite Eight might be a stretch for UConn this year. No shade. No shade. But an Elite Eight might be the ceiling for this team, man. I mean, the development hasn't been there. Ashlyn Shade, Ice Brady. Like, KK Arnold's really the only one that's developing from last year. Sarah Strong came in ready. Paige Beckers hasn't gotten better in the last 2 seasons at least. Like, where's the development? AZ Fudd, great player. Hasn't really gotten any better. She's not doing anything now that she wasn't doing her freshman year. You know? Like, if I'm lying, I'm flying. Let me know. Oh, we all watching the same game. We all watching the same game. And I'm telling you right now, Geno Aurieamma looking tired out there, boss. He looking tired out there. Holla at me in the comments. I might have to drop a separate video talking about potential replacements for Geno. Because my man is looking old. I agree. I mean, when you go from playing Georgetown to Tennessee, it can be a shell shock. I agree completely. Duke, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, sometimes, like, dude, sometimes you just got to know when to fold them. You got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them. Calipari won his championship. He seen the writing on the wall. They threw him in that NIL money. Jerry Jones said, get him to Arkansas, and he was up out of there. Geno been there for decades. It might be time for a shift. Maybe, keep him on as an advisor, as an analyst. Keep him around the program. But as a head coach, man, it feel like he a boxer fighting past his prime right now. It feel like Geno is a boxer fighting past his prime right now. And he gonna end up punch drunk. I will say Calipari got that sleaze ball, man, like that aura around him. Him and Rick Pitino, them slick backs. I don't know, man. That's just hair's just a little too slick. I'm just saying, but nah, Geno just playing past his prime, and he ain't getting generational talents no more. Yeah, when you got Breonna Stewart, when you got Nafisa Collier, when you got Katie Lou Samuelson, like you got all these players that were just dominant. Kia Nurse, going back to even Rebecca Lobo. Like they had all these generational talents to where Geno could just roll the ball out there and let them play. And the rest of the league, the rest of the entire nation has caught up. Yo, Rick Pitino just always in some shady business. What's crazy though is, no shade, like Rick Pitino is one of my favorite college coaches. I love what he's doing at St. John's. But my man was coaching international. Like, yeah, there's some shady business. The fact that they both happen to be Italian has nothing to do with it. Hey, Rick Pitino, I don't care, black, Italian. whatever nationality, whatever race, it don't matter. That man Rick Pitino out here, he shady business. We let's not forget Louisville. My gosh, that's what I'm saying. These UConn rosters are not built the same anymore. Yeah, this UConn team, there's probably 3 draft picks on it, which is still more than a lot of teams, respectfully, but this is definitely not the same UConn teams we're accustomed to seeing. The recruiting has dropped off. Sarah Strong was a must get. It wasn't like, hey, come join the winning side. It was like, yo, we need you to be relevant. That's what's changed. That's what's really changed. And I mean, it's a different recruiting game now. Well, I mean, it's a totally different recruiting game. You got to be able to relate to these kids. You got to be able to be fun to be around. That's why, like, I was so shocked when Bill Belichick got the Carolina job, like going to college, like the aura, like that. It's nothing to say Geno Aurieamma can't coach or that he's a bad coach or a bad person, but it's like there's a major generational gap. And NIL, we saw it in Roy Williams, we saw it in Coach K, we saw it in Nick Saban. Like a lot of the greats are getting pushed out. Yep, changed everything, dude. A lot of the great coaches are getting pushed out right now. Yeah, facts. And Geno's still squeezing every ounce out of the roster that he can. Because that team last year had no business in the Final Four, so salute to him. Yeah, it definitely is. Not everybody can do what Don Staley's doing right now. I think Coach Kim Caldwell is going with the same strategy, though. Tennessee has the number 2 class coming in next year. Like, there's going to be transfers that want to come play there. Like, that's going to be the new system. If you want to stack your rosters, you're going to have to play platoons. If you want 10 starters, all 10 of them are going to have to play starter minutes, low key, or close to it. You got to get players to buy in and sacrifice individual success for the team success. Coach Kim Caldwell's figuring it out really quickly at Tennessee, and they deserve all the credit. I mean, it's so crazy in college now. You got to recruit your own roster. You got to recruit your own roster every season because everybody's trying to poach. Everybody's trying to poach. Chat booming, chat booming. Guys, if this is your first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. Join our memberships. We got exclusive content coming daily, weekly, whenever you need it. Yo, Dan Hurley got UConn rolling again too. Salute to him. I like those like old school hard knocks coaches, man. Izzo Hurley, like guys that just love the game of basketball and that live in the gym. Salute to him. Yeah, that NIL. I mean, it's forcing a lot of the all time great coaches to retire, man. You either got to adjust or get ran over. Look what Ohio State just did in college football. Bought a majority of their roster. That's what it's taking nowadays. That's exactly what it's taking nowadays. That NIL talks. In the 4 years of NIL, Alabama went from only needing to spend 1 to 2 million first year to and we knew it was gonna drop. We knew that was gonna happen quick. 1 to 2 million don't even get you a quarterback barely now. Quarterbacks going for 1 or 2 million. No doubt in my mind, Alabama football will be back for sure. But I mean, that NIL is changing the game, and it's forcing a lot of these coaches up out of here. They can't keep up. They can't keep up. A lot of these coaches are getting forced out by NIL and the transfer portal. We've seen a lot of goats get pushed out. And that's not to say Geno is not a good coach or that he hasn't had a great legacy or his to undervalue the impact that he's had on the women's game, which has been great. But it's time to hang it up. It's time to hang it up. It's time to fold. It did. It made things more interesting. It definitely made things more interesting, and it gave you a chance to build a program overnight. I mean, look what LSU and Kim Mulkey did. Yeah, I feel like everything is hard in your early 70s, but running a program, the man is in his 70s, y'all. The fact that if he's still driving is impressive. Yeah, Mulkey got on board early and got rewarded with a championship immediately. And that's the thing. That's how you're going to have to build these teams now. And that's why we see all these alumni to these schools that are pouring in mad money. Like, look at Arkansas. They got the Tyson family. They got Jerry Jones, like Michigan. They got, man, Magic has given Michigan State the gold, like the black card. Like, bro, all these alumni of these schools, like Jordan's pouring into North Carolina, like Phil Knight in Oregon. Look at what Oregon did with the NIL. Y'all see Dan Lennon before NIL, Dan Lennon would have bolted for that Alabama job. Oregon was able to keep him. NIL, Nike money. Yup, yup. Mulkey built that roster from scratch very quickly. Went to work and got a natty. She hit the recruiting trail hard. She hit the transfer portal hard. Yeah, Michigan got a lot of money coming in. I mean, y'all see what they did with that number one quarterback, Bryce Underwood, flipping him from LSU? They had Tom Brady talking to the kid. Like, it's crazy what the recruitment is now. It's absolutely insane. And you're expecting somebody in their 70s to keep up? Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. The Bryce Underwood kid, number one player in the class, number one quarterback. 12 M's? 12 million? Bro, NIL is insane right now. NIL is insane right now. And salute to Geno. He's lifted the game. Like, we can't undermine his legacy. We can't. I'm not here to say he's a bad coach. Undermine his legacy, his impact on the game, his connection with players, the development at the next level. They've sent hella pros there. Those guys would have been pros regardless if they went to UConn or not. But yeah, UConn, I honestly think, man, playing in the Big East is destroying them. Playing in the Big East is destroying UConn. Notre Dame beating Stanford by 50. That's crazy. And Stanford, man, they done lost a lot of games, but they've been in every one of them for the most part. They took LSU to the wire. I tell you that. But Notre Dame, man, I mean, I've been saying it, and I don't think you can even call them a dark horse at this point. Before the season, there, I was saying dark horse, but like I would not be shocked if Notre Dame wins the national championship. Yeah, I mean, this is what happens when you take a month off from competitive basketball. This is what happens when you schedule in a conference where you're playing 8 scrimmages and then you got to come out and play a real squad that came and punched you in your mouth. Yeah, man. Hannah Hidalgo, Player of the Year. Sonia Citron, one of the best 3-and-Ds in the league, in the whole country. Olivia Miles just does it all, walking triple double, shooting incredible compared to what she has in the past from the 3-point line. Maddie Westbell is back into the swing of things. Latu King has been really impressive from them out the portal. Like, yeah, Notre Dame got some killers. Real deal. Holyfield. Yeah, Westbed changes everything. Westbed does, man. The way she can stretch the floor. SEC and Big Ten with higher revenue sharing, higher staff salaries, facilities, network effect. Yeah, I mean, look at these super conferences, man. The SEC and Big Ten have turned into super conferences, and it's going to come to a point where the NCAA has cut out this whole ordeal, and it's just going to be run by these super conferences and these universities. Watch what I tell you. So he is not on the Del Rosario train at all. That is hilarious. Nah, they definitely need a true big. Because Del Rosario is not the answer. She needs to transfer out. It's a lot of players that's on LSU's roster right now, Mass Terpola included, that's getting a free ride. It's a lot of LSU players that are getting a free ride that's going to be replaced by that elite freshman class coming in next year. Don't worry, LSU fans. Reinforcements is coming next year, and some of them players that's on that roster right now are going to have to be giving up them scholarships. I think anybody can be beaten any given night. I think it's extremely hard to beat the team twice, especially as talented as Texas. Um, I I think it depends, man. I think the X factor really could be Layla Falia. If she really comes out and gives them a boost, I don't think Madison Booker's going to have another bad game the way she did. Taylor Jones has been incredible. Rory Harmon has been solid. I still would take South Carolina. I ain't gonna lie if I had to put money on it. But yeah, Texas could win. I don't think they will, but they could for sure, especially at home. Yeah, she got size. She the biggest player on the court. She the biggest player on the roster, but brings the least amount of impact for sure, without a doubt, hands down. Hands down. I'm telling you, it's a new generation of younger head coaches. Like Don Staley and Kim Mulkey have adjusted to this new wave perfectly. Geno has not. And that's no shade. I'm just keeping it real. Geno has not. It's time for change. It is time for change. It's obvious that Geno cannot keep up with this new era of hoops, man. Yeah. Man, I honestly, man, Tennessee, they built a juggernaut quick. Like, Kim Caldwell was building that thing up quick. She's getting her first recruiting class in next year, like her first full recruiting class. They got the number two class in the country coming in. Yeah. And salute to Coach Kim Caldwell, man. She did it from the ground up, starting in D2 and worked her way up. She young, she hungry, she cares about these players. She's got that youthful energy. Y'all saw her on the sideline yelling and stomping and just getting her team fired up. Geno over there looking like a damn corpse. Bro, I just imagine, man. Imagine if Rakia Jackson was on this Tennessee squad. Oh my gosh. Just imagine. So we gonna have to. We gonna have to, man. I got y'all. I got y'all. I do this for y'all. I do it for the people, man. Y'all holler at me in the comments. Let me know what y'all want to see more lives, what content, whatever we need to get done to get it done. Y'all holler at me in the comments. Let me know. We definitely can get a live going. Death salute to the draft. Yeah, and I think the thing about women's basketball, especially in the like for one, it's the fundamentals. They're not just relying solely on athleticism, but I think it's cool too that we're seeing in the women's college game, like players are sticking around for years and years and years, and we're building those relationships. We're building that following, that fandom. Like you're getting to see your favorite players. When you see a player that you like commit to a college in women's hoops, you know they're gonna be there 3, 4 years. Yeah, absolutely. I would agree with that. Step backs, euros, they throwing alleys. Like the women's game is at an all time high right now. And that means only more and more talent coming into the WNBA. Nah, ain't no way, see. They would have been on that. They would have guarded that. They would have guarded that three. Ain't no way. They had to make a move. Coach Harper had to get out of there. Smooth, quick, fast, hurry. Yeah, women's basketball is at an all time high right now. If college football had one and done, it would crater the sport like men's basketball. Yeah, and it would probably cause some injuries because other than Jeremiah Smith, there ain't a whole lot of freshmen that would be making the NFL right now. Yeah, the fundamentals, the development of the game, it's cleaner. I think the effort is there. Like, man, these ladies is leaving it all on the court every night. The star power is there. Like so many great players to watch on any given night. I mean, even if they're not, the best teams, like what Michaela Blakes is doing at Vanderbilt special, Tanaya Latson special out there at Florida State. Like Harvard's got one of the best guards in the country in the Ivy League. Like, there's just so much talent around women's hoops right now. Izzy Higginbottom getting it done at Arkansas, averaging over 24 a game. Like, there's so much talent. You got Haley Van Lith out there at TCU, her and Sedona Prince. Like, there's great Audie Crooks. There's so much great talent, even for teams that are not like elite teams. Like, they still have a lot of great players that are fun to watch. Yeah, men's college basketball got dry. I will say it's more fun than it has been. Like with Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, like these guys have made it more fun to watch this year. This freshman class wasn't a dud like last season. I could say that. But imagine if Cooper Flag would have been at Duke 5 years ago, he'd be on ESPN. Y'all remember when Zion was at Duke, even just a few years ago? Like the anticipation, the views, the viewership. Like college basketball pretty much peaked after that. I thought Cooper Flag was gonna be getting the same love, the same praise, the same views, the same following as Zion. Like, bro, Cooper Flag is exciting. He's must watch TV. Like the men's game is better than it was last year, and nobody still cared. They still don't care. Hey, Iowa got it going. Iowa got it going. Salute to them. They had a tough stretch. Coach Jensen got them playing. Hannah Stokey's back and healthy. Sydney Falters looking like her last year's self. But yeah, Cooper Flag, Ace Bailey, like the kid out of Illinois, like there's a lot of talent. Yeah, facts, facts. Yo, that was a huge upset. My guy RC was lit after that game. Yeah, I will say for the OG basketball fans, Dylan Harper is the son of Ron Harper, the old Bulls point guard. Um, so there's that family lineage there. He's really good. He'll be a top two pick. But other than that, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed watching Zach Edey when he was in Purdue. But yeah, other than Cooper Flagman, there's not a whole lot of draws in men's this year. Yeah, hey man, I think Coach Jensen really pulled Iowa in and was like, "We're not about to lose this game in front of Caitlin and take away from their jersey retirement." Like they stood their ground, put their foot down, and put it on USC. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, RC, did you think that give me a percentage. Like was it like 70-30? Like you thought Iowa was gonna win that game. Like be real with me. Hannah Stokey, man, she has taken a major step forward. I love too that she's showing the passing ability. Like literally you could throw it down in the post and run the offense through her. Like I think her passing is slept on, man. Hannah Stokey can pass that rock. Yeah, people forget about athletic Ron Harper with the Cavs too, and even in Miami. Like when you talk about like Russell Westbrook, John Wall, like Ron Harper was the prototype, low key man, big point guard that used to just flush it on you. But yeah, his kid is a monster. Plays at Rutgers. Rutgers has two freshmen that'll probably go 2 and 3 in the WNBA draft this year. Yeah, I like Hannah Stokey's game though, man. She runs the floor well. She rebounds. She's skilled. She's well rounded. Like she's a player that I gotta salute that has gotten better every year that she was with Iowa. Yeah, I agree. Lucy Olson, man, she just gotta be more efficient. She gotta cut down the turnovers and take better shots, in my opinion. But they definitely both have the talent to play at the next level. Nah, South Carolina is the last ranked team UConn plays, and then they're back to Big East play. And to be honest, the way it's looking, South Carolina might get them by about 15. Hey, RC, I respect the honesty, bro. I respect the honesty. Thank you for that. I needed that laugh. Respect. That was a major upset, though, man. It showed you that Iowa can play with the best of the best. They took Tennessee to the wire, too. They took Tennessee to the wire. But yeah, Lucy Olsen, man, shot maker, gets it off the dribble, high arc, great mid range. She shoots it off balance, off one leg. She got the handle. Like, yeah, Lucy Olsen has really adapted well into Big Ten play coming over from the weak Big East. UConn don't even got to see Lucy Olsen twice a year anymore. You know the Big East is cooked. Yo, I was just talking about that earlier, RT. I don't think, other than Stokey maybe with her steals, I don't think there's a player that's more dominant on both sides of the basketball than Lauren Betts right now. I mean, she just impacts the game in so many different ways. Yeah, Lucy Olsen just got to get that 3 point percentage up more, like it was in the past at Villanova, and definitely cut down on the turnovers. But I like Lucy Olsen's game. Like she was a must-get recruit for Iowa. I love too. What I love about Lucy Olsen is she has not been out there trying to be Caitlin. She's embraced being Lucy, being her best self, and I think people in Iowa respect her for that. Because there ain't a lot of players that would have been brave enough to take their talents and become the number one scoring option, replacing Caitlin Clark. Yeah, hey yo, Addie O'Grady, yo, one of the most improved players in the country. Oh my goodness. Taylor McCabe shot the ball well in the first half too, man, from three. She's another player that's been around that Iowa program for some years. I like what Sydney Falter did as well. She played well, another well-rounded player that stuffs the stat sheet for Iowa too. Salute, salute. We do love players with personality. We do love players with personality. Talk, talk. And I mean, we have been saying it. We done had these discussions about Iowa throughout, and saying that they would be more competitive than people thought. I think it's more impressive too. Like, yeah, they lost Caitlin, but they lost basically their whole starting lineup with Stokey, man. Like, there was a lot of production that they had to replace, and the fact that they're still competing like this, and they lost their head coach, and you bring in UCLA and USC into the conference as well. I mean, salute. Everybody kind of figured it would just be UCLA and USC in this conference. Ohio State's been good as well. Yeah, Lucy Olsen definitely not camera shy. That's for sure. Guys, we've been at it for about 90 minutes, man. It's been a great conversation, a great live tonight. Y'all holler at me in the comments. Give me your final takeaways. And let me know any type of videos y'all want to see for the future, man. Holler at me because we got content dropping all weekend, baby. Yeah, I know those both your squads, RC. You just gotta root for whoever wins. Play it safe. They've been on page romp this whole live. OG say he got the Chiefs. Maryland was so good. Too bad they had injuries. Yeah, they did work in the transfer portal, man. I love Cheyenne Sellers. I'm a big fan of her game. For sure. Top 7 draft pick easily. Maybe top 5. Definitely one of the best guards in the country. I got you. I got you. We did talk about the Aces earlier in the live, but I definitely can cut that segment. I definitely can make a video because they don't let go of everybody. They let their whole bench go away, man. I love that they still have Asia Jackie. Jewel Lloyd's gonna have to take less shots. Interested to see how she fits in. Quick look at the roster. They did bring in Cheyenne Parker Tyus. You add Jewel Lloyd. I still think your girl from Iowa, Megan Gustafson, still out there. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot to replace, man. They just lost like 3 former 6 player of the years. Yeah, we can definitely do more coverage on the Aces. If I'm honest, man, I'm taking a very hard look at Olivia Miles for that first pick. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm with you, RC. Kiki Rie can be inconsistent. Paige had lost her killer instinct. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, you might want to take a hard look at Olivia Miles. That's all I'm saying. Very hard look at Olivia Miles. Because right now, if I had to take the number 1 draft pick, I'm going Olivia Miles, man. Straight up. Olivia Miles is the number 1 draft pick. She has been battle tested. She's come up big in every big game Notre Dame has had. She's been consistent handling the basketball, been one of the best playmakers, shooting the 3 ball at an all time high, getting to the cup. She's a better defender than Paige. Like, if I'm the Wings, I'm leaning towards Olivia Miles. And she coming off a season ending injury. Like, she didn't even play last year. And she out here working. Got that dog in her, that killer instinct, that anxiousness that we didn't see. Yo, Sonya Citron, hey, she might be the best 3 and D player in the draft, though, no cap. She might be the best 3 and D player in the draft, for real. Sonya Citron really might be the best. Hey, she might be the best 3 and D player. She's gonna translate to the WNBA very well with her length, her shot making ability, the fact that she can be a secondary ball handler and handle the rock, and she done matched up with Paige Beckers as well as Juju Watkins and made things extremely hard for both of them. Sonya Citron, man, she the unsung hero. They know Notre Dame does not work without Sonya Citron. Salute. Hey, she taking it to the cup hard. Hard, OG. She taking it to the cup hard. And she's an elite passer. She don't be turning the ball over. The knock on her game really was, her shooting the 3, her lack of shooting the 3. She's shooting the 3 at an all-time high right now. Like, Olivia Miles, they were talking about how it was going to be trouble or chemistry issues with her playing with Olivia Miles. Or playing with Hannah Hidalgo, excuse me. Yeah, okay. Hey, RC, I think I'm gonna say this for all the people out there. I think we all want to see more footage of Sophie Cunningham. There's a world where there needs to be a lot of footage of Sophia Cunningham. We all need more of Sophia Cunningham. She's a great follow on Instagram too. But we all need to be, I'm team Sophia Cunningham. The Fever is gonna be must watch TV. Her and Sexy Lexi, oh my goodness. Yeah, Olivia Miles is a dog though. She's got that killer instinct that I just want to rip your soul out of you. I just want to dominate you. That's true, Kelsaw. Welcome in, Mike. Yeah, I mean that's true. That's why a lot of these free agents are signing like 1 year deals too, man. The price is about to go up. The price is about to go up, man. We will really see the reflection and the results and the impact of the new fans and viewership in women's hoops with that new TBA deal. Yeah, the Indiana Fever. Oh my goodness, they are stacked. They are stacked. People talked about like, I mean, they got just even with DeWanna Bonner, but like and Sophia Cunningham, of course, but Tina Charles was a crazy pickup. Sydney, oh my gosh, Jalen Brown, don't sleep on her. Like they did some really, really great things. Natasha Howard's gonna be a great addition. Like the Fever are stacked. Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I agree with that. Colson put them over the edge. I think the biggest deal, the biggest thing that they needed to address was the backup point guard. They bring in one of the best in the league in Colson. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, the Fever get an A+ for me as well. Get Christy Wallace and Erica Wheeler out of there. You know how I feel about them, RC. And if they can unload Katie Lou Samuelson's contract on some sucker, get her up out of there too, doggone it. Get her up out of there too if you can. Clean house. Yo, I would love for. I mean, you're going to be quote unquote. You were deemed Caitlin Clark's replacement. You might as well go be her teammate. I've been seeing serious momentum building about Lucy Olsen going to the Indiana Fever. She definitely could be there at the 19th or the 20th pick for sure. I think she's being underrated. She's one of the most prolific scorers in the game. She can provide instant offense. She also can play make, great length, great rebounder for her position. Like, yeah, I could definitely see it. I could definitely see that being a fit, man. She would fit that system really, really well. Stephanie White and the I think was the Fever owner or the GM was there as well. Guys, I'm about to call it, man. What a live. I definitely will continue to do more lives. I got y'all. You know, we've been cranking out the content. Still feel like I got the best chat on YouTube. None of this is possible without you great people, man. Much love to everybody that joined in and tuned in tonight. I hope y'all have a phenomenal Friday. We'll be back in action. Y'all keep dropping comments. Let me know what y'all want to see, what y'all like, what y'all want to tune into. Until next time, they done losing, RC. Until next time, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in again. I will be back live. We will be back at it tomorrow. Until next time, hey, we out. Make sure that the subscribe button, like, comment, share, join our memberships for that exclusive content. And follow us on social media at Brandon Lee TV. Until next time, this has been the Live with Brandon Blakeney podcast. Of course, I'm Brandon Blakeney, aka Brandon Lee TV, your host. Until next time, we out.